John was 67 when he first noticed it. He used to wake up feeling rested, even energized, ready to take on the day. But lately, mornings felt dull. No more spring in his step, and those early morning erections, gone, replaced by a quiet stiffness in his lower back, and a nagging sense that something inside him had gone dim. At first, he chalked it up to age. "This is just how it is now," he told himself. But deep down, it bothered him. Not because he was chasing youth. No, he knew better than that. It bothered him because he could feel his vitality slipping away, and no one around him seemed to notice. Not his doctor, not his friends, not even his own reflection. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed it too? That quiet loss of energy, fading drive, a bladder that wakes you up more than the sunrise? Your body may not shout it out loud, but it's whispering, something's changing. Now here's the part that most men never get told, and it's not your fault. There are natural ways to reverse that silent decline. Real, proven steps that can reignite your internal flame, without pills, without gimmicks, and without pretending you're 25 again. Today, I'm going to show you something different, not a miracle, not a marketing trick, but 5 ancient spices, time-tested by cultures around the world, that speak the body's language of healing, spices that help restore circulation, testosterone, energy, and yes, even those private functions that matter more than most are willing to admit, because this isn't about chasing youth, it's about reclaiming what was always yours. Let's begin. Why vitality declines. After 60. Let's be honest, no one really prepares you for what starts happening after 60. Not your doctor, not your buddies, not even your own body, until it starts sending quiet signals. You stand up slower. You feel tired more often, even after a good night's sleep. And in the bedroom, things don't respond like they used to. It's not just frustrating. It can feel like you're losing a part of who you are. But here's the truth. You're not broken. What you're feeling is the result of a natural biological process, not a personal failure. After 60, testosterone levels dip. Blood flow to the pelvis slows down, muscle mass shrinks, prostate pressure builds, and inflammation creeps into places it doesn't belong. All of this affects your energy, mood, erections, and confidence. Slowly, quietly, and sometimes painfully. But most men don't talk about it. They silently adjust, telling themselves, this is just part of getting older. And yet, it doesn't have to be this way. See, your body isn't giving up. It's adapting. It's reacting to years of wear, stress, diet, and hormone shifts. And just like a car that's been parked too long, sometimes it just needs a little fuel and a spark to get going again. Here's the empowering part. Your body still wants to heal. It's still listening, still responding, still capable of surprising you. All it needs are the right signals, and those signals can come from the foods and herbs you already know. And that brings us to the heart of this video. Because what if I told you that 5 humble spices, yes, spices, could gently nudge your body back into its natural rhythm? Let me show you how. The power of spices, forgotten medicine for men. There's something poetic about the way the body listens to nature. Long before prescriptions, supplements, and sterile pill bottles, there were spices, not just for taste, but for healing, for strength, for energy, for male virility. In ancient Persia, warriors drank saffron-infused teas before battle to calm their nerves and sharpen their senses. In India, turmeric wasn't just added to food. It was rubbed onto the body, sipped in warm milk, and used to heal everything from wounds to weak digestion. Even Roman soldiers carried satchels of ginger and clove on long campaigns, believing these humble powders kept their blood hot and their minds sharp. Somehow, we've forgotten. We've replaced ancient knowledge with fast fixes, but your body hasn't forgotten. It still recognizes these compounds. It knows how to use them. Because inside every spice lies a complex orchestra of plant medicine, flavonoids, antioxidants, and hormone-supporting compounds that modern science is just beginning to understand. And here's what's fascinating. Many of these spices target the exact systems that start to slow down in older men: blood flow, hormonal balance, prostate function, inflammation, mood. These aren't accidents, they're nature's design. But here's the twist: it's not about dumping a bunch of turmeric on your dinner and hoping for the best. It's about consistency, timing, combinations, and understanding how your aging body can respond to these gifts when given gently, daily, and with intention. Because a teaspoon of the right spice, taken the right way, can act like a message, a whisper to your nervous system, a tap on the shoulder of your hormones, a green light to your circulation saying, it's time to flow again. So let's explore these one by one. And first up, a spice most men overlook, but might just be your testosterone's best friend: fenugreek, the natural testosterone whisperer. Let me introduce you to one of nature's quietest healers, but don't let its humble appearance fool you. Fenugreek, a spice so ancient it was found in the tomb of King Tut, but today it might just be the key to reigniting your testosterone, naturally, safely, and without side effects. Let me tell you about Bill, 71, retired mechanic, proud grandfather, and one of my longtime patients. A few years ago, he came in frustrated. "I'm not tired," he said, "but I feel tired. I don't have the same zip, you know." He missed his morning energy, missed feeling strong. He wasn't looking for miracles, just a sense of himself again. We added one small thing to his morning routine: fenugreek. About 600 milligrams of a standardized extract every morning before breakfast. Within 2 weeks, he called me, "Doc, I'm waking up like I used to. I don't know if it's in my head, but I feel alive again." It wasn't in his head. Here's what's happening under the surface. Fenugreek contains compounds called furostanolic saponins, which help your body use its own testosterone more effectively. It doesn't replace hormones. It nudges your system to balance itself. It improves strength, libido, and even blood sugar, which plays a role in erectile function too. Studies have shown that men taking fenugreek can experience boosted testosterone, better bedroom performance, and more lean muscle, without the roller coaster of artificial hormones. You can take it as a supplement, steep it as a tea, or soak the seeds overnight and drink the water. Simple, accessible, and surprisingly powerful, because sometimes it's not about adding more, it's about unlocking what's already inside you. And now that we've awakened the body's fire, let's move to the next spice, one that opens the roads to that fire, and trust me, it burns bright. Ginger, blood flow, booster and inflammation fighter. Now, let's talk about a spice you've probably used in your kitchen, but never realized it might be the key to better erections, sharper energy, and even a lighter step in the morning. Ginger. Yes, the same root you grate into your tea or chew after a heavy meal. But let me tell you, inside this little root lives a powerhouse of healing, especially for men over 60. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. As we age, our blood vessels stiffen, circulation slows, and when blood doesn't flow freely down there, erections become weaker, slower, or just don't happen at all. Not to mention, poor blood flow affects brain clarity, heart health, and even bladder control. That's where ginger steps in like an old friend. It increases nitric oxide levels, the very compound your blood vessels need to relax and expand. Think of it like this: if your arteries were highways, nitric oxide is the road crew clearing the path for smoother traffic. It also lowers inflammation, one of the silent enemies of your prostate, your heart, and yes, your erections. Now, I had a patient, Roger, 66, former military, no-nonsense kind of guy. He'd been on blood pressure meds for years, and his intimate life was fading. We didn't change his medications, we simply added fresh ginger shots in the morning and ginger tea after dinner. In 3 weeks, he said something I'll never forget: "I didn't think I'd ever feel that alive again." Want to try it? Start simple. Grate fresh ginger into hot water, add a squeeze of lemon and a dash of honey, and drink it like a ritual. You can also add powdered ginger to your meals or take it in capsule form, Because when you open up blood flow, everything else starts working better. Your energy, your confidence, your ability to respond. And speaking of inflammation, the next spice doesn't just reduce it, it transforms it. Let's talk about turmeric. Turmeric, the male hormone shield. If I could choose just one spice to protect an aging man's body from the inside out, I'd choose turmeric. You've seen it, the golden yellow powder that stains your fingertips and gives curry its color. But what you may not know is that turmeric is one of the most powerful natural shields you can give your hormones, your prostate, and even your heart. Here's why. Inside turmeric is a compound called curcumin, and curcumin is a warrior. It goes after inflammation like a heat-seeking missile. And inflammation, as we now know, is one of the biggest reasons testosterone declines, erections fade, and energy disappears. Let me tell you about Leonard. He was 69, newly retired, and starting to feel older than he liked to admit. Not sick, just sluggish, low mood, occasional joint pain. His doctor wanted to put him on multiple prescriptions, but Leonard wanted to try the natural route first. So we started small. Turmeric plus black pepper plus a teaspoon of olive oil mixed into warm almond milk every night before bed. I called it his golden shield. After 2 weeks, his sleep improved. After 4, his knees felt looser, his mind clearer. And the surprise? He started waking up with morning wood again, something he hadn't noticed in months. That's the thing about turmeric. It doesn't just work on one part of you. It supports the whole system, lowering cortisol, improving mood, balancing blood sugar, and reducing swelling in the prostate. And here's a pro tip. Turmeric only works well if it's absorbed properly, so always take it with black pepper, which contains papain, and a healthy fat like olive oil or coconut oil. This combo boosts absorption by over 2,000%. One small evening ritual. One big shift in how you feel, move, and perform. But what if I told you there's a spice that goes straight to your nerves, one that reawakens the bedroom like flipping a switch? Let's talk about cloves. Clove, libido awakener and circulation enhancer. Here's a question most men are too proud to ask out loud. Is it normal to just not feel anything anymore? Down there? And my answer is always the same. No, it's not normal, but it is common, and it can be changed. Let me introduce you to clove, a small fiery bud that's been used for centuries in ancient medicine for one reason. It reawakens the senses, especially the ones you thought were long gone. Clove is rich in compounds like eugenol, which help increase blood flow, protect nerve sensitivity, and enhance testosterone. In plain English, it makes you feel again. It stirs that internal spark that gets dulled with age and stress and medications. I once worked with a widower in his 70s. He told me he hadn't been interested in intimacy in years, not because he didn't want to connect, but because the sensation was gone, like someone had turned the volume all the way down. We added a nightly clove milk to his routine, a cup of warm milk with just a pinch of ground clove and a little honey. He called it his evening calm, but within 3 weeks he came in smiling. "Doc," he said, "the volume's back on." You can chew 1 to 2 cloves a day, brew them into tea, or mix ground clove into warm drinks. Just be gentle. Clove is potent. Start small and listen to your body. It's amazing what can happen when you simply wake up the circulation and sensitivity in the right places. And when that spark returns, so does confidence, warmth, and even desire. But now, let me show you something truly special. A spice not just for the body, but for the mind, the heart, and the soul. Let's meet saffron. Saffron, mood, erections, and performance in one. There's one spice so rare, so delicate, and so powerful. It's been called sunshine in a thread. Saffron, grown high in the mountains of Iran, Kashmir, and parts of Spain, hand-harvested at dawn. It takes over 75,000 saffron flowers to make just 1 pound. But what does it offer men over 60? That's priceless. Most people know saffron as a luxury ingredient in rice or tea. But ancient healers knew its deeper truth. Saffron lifts the spirit and stirs the body. Now, here's something most doctors won't tell you. Erections don't just come from the body, they come from the brain. From mood, from presence, from that quiet confidence inside that says, I'm still me. And that's where saffron shines. It gently increases dopamine and serotonin, two neurotransmitters that regulate joy, connection, and sexual arousal. In clinical studies, saffron improved erectile function, sexual satisfaction, and even emotional intimacy in older men, without changing hormones, just by lifting the fog. One of my favorite patients, Daryl, 73, told me he didn't feel turned on by life anymore. We added saffron tea to his wind-down ritual. Just warm water, a few saffron threads, and a touch of cinnamon. 3 weeks later, he said, "Doc, I didn't just want sex. I wanted to laugh again." That's what saffron does. It brings you back into yourself. It softens the rough edges of aging, not by numbing them, but by reminding you who you still are. You can take saffron as a supplement, but I always recommend the real thing. 3 to 5 threads steeped in warm tea, once a day. Taken slowly, sipped like a moment you're reclaiming. Now, let's bring it all together. 5 spices, 1 body, and a simple daily plan to make them work for you. How to use these spices daily, your vitality routine. Now that you know the why behind each spice, let's talk about how to use them in a way that fits into your life. No overwhelm, no stress, no complicated rituals. This is your vitality routine, not a diet, not a detox. Just small, steady practices that quietly fuel your hormones, circulation, mood, and energy, one day at a time. Here's a simple daily rhythm to follow. Morning routine, wake up your system. Fenugreek tea or capsule before breakfast, 500 to 600 milligrams standardized extract. Fresh ginger shot, grated ginger, lemon juice, and warm water, optional. Pinch of turmeric in your smoothie or scrambled eggs. These support testosterone, blood sugar, and early morning energy flow. Evening routine, calm and rebuild. Turmeric milk, warm almond or oat milk, plus 1/2 teaspoon turmeric, plus pinch of black pepper, plus olive or coconut oil. Add 1 pinch of clove and 2 to 3 saffron threads for nervous system relaxation and sexual restoration. Sip slowly about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with just one, like turmeric milk at night, and build from there. Some men even batch a spice mix for the week. Turmeric, ginger, clove, and black pepper, all pre-mixed and ready to scoop into tea or food. And here's the secret. The power isn't in perfection. It's consistent. Your body doesn't need a flood. It needs a gentle reminder every day that you care about it, that you're still in this fight. And believe me, when you give your body those signals, it listens. So now that you have the knowledge and the plan, let me leave you with one final thought.